Hey, Tech, sisters and brothers, welcome to the house of divinity. I am Proof B, or Professor Bates. Welcome. So, I guess I'll start calling these little videos did I say that before? I guess I'll start calling these little videos my bedtime chats. Because I wake up, it's like 4:30 in the morning. I wake up like 3 o'clock in the morning and I'm like, excuse me, what am I going to do 3 o'clock in the morning? Let's make a video. So, what this video is about is that maybe y'all, the 2 or 3 of you that have seen my previous videos, they'll be like, well, he's talking ancient Egyptian stuff. But he also mentions stuff about the Bible. Well, let me assure you, I am not a Christian, a Jew, a Muslim, a Taoist, none of that. I don't take on labels. But what I have learned is the whole thing is from a specific esoteric. Is it esoteric or whichever one is like inner stuff. Esoteric, I think is the word. I can't think of the other word. Anyway, so what I wanted to talk about is what I've been talking about on these videos is part of a lineage which took me 40 years of training to complete. Now, you have over here anyway, most people know about 3. Here we go with the 3 again. A, B, C, you, me, they. 1, 2, 3. Judaism, Christianity, Islam. Those are the major, and then other stuff come in, Buddhism and Taoism, which are, well, I can speak for Taoism, is not a religion. From what I'm going to teach, it's a practice. They do have a religious Tao, let me say, people that believe in that these deities are real and all that type of stuff. That's not what I'm into. I'm into the Taoist practices, breathing, da-da-da-da. I'll get into that over there. But what I'm talking about right now is that each of the other religions, Judaism and Islam, though the like the general body of the religion might not recognize the esoteric part of that specific religion, but they exist anyway. For instance, in Judaism, which is said to be the first religion, the esoteric side, I hope I was saying the right word, esoteric, right? If I'm not, you know what heaven I mean. The esoteric side, this side, as opposed to this side, is called Kabbalah. And they get into something similar like what I have up on the wall here. I don't know if y'all can see it. That's called the Tree of Life. Now, I have the Kemetic Tree of Life. And the Jews, Hebrews, they have their own Tree of Life. So the Kabbalists study the Bible in a whole different, well, I don't know if it's a whole different way, but it's different than the people who just studying the words and all that type of stuff. They get Kabbalah is some real deep stuff. Okay, so they do their thing. They have meditations and all this type of stuff for inner work, and they do some crazy stuff. As a matter of fact, some of the most famous Kabbalists back in the day, when the Moors first gave them the information, bugged out and died or whatever before they was in their 30s. Some of the meditations that you have to do when you get up there in the Kabbalah is off the chain. You gotta think of all the letters going in circles, and you gotta know the color of each letter, the tone of each letter. It gets deep. So now we have the Muslim or Islamic religion. Now their esoteric side is called Sufism. So now I might be wrong. I'll say when I might be wrong if I may not know the information that I speak. But I believe from my studies that the Sufi order was started by a person who was a Magi first, and we're going to get into that in a minute. So now you had names and stuff I'm not really good at. So you had this group of people somewhere out there, and they doing their thing. They like, yeah, dancing and singing. I can't think of the name because literally these people became a dynasty that became running the whole world, even over here. But anyway, so they out in the middle of nowhere doing their thing, and the religion, Islam, comes to them. Like most of these religions come to you and make you do it, because they got knives and guns and shit. Anyways, so these dancing and singing, and they just loving life type peoples. Strict Islam comes, and they like, no. So I guess they started rebelling and all kind of stuff, and pretty soon I can't think of the name. That I think it started with an A. But anyway, they became a dynasty, and they gathered Moors. These are the people that gathered all the Moors, and they gathered Europeans, and everybody gathered together in this nation to fight Islam. And they created this thing called the Sufi order. Now, one of the sects of the Sufi order are the whirling dervishes. When you ain't got no teethuses, some words is like. Anyway, so they created this thing called the whirling dervishes, where they just spin around, and I guess they get so doggone dizzy that they connect with the Most High. What's funny isn't that the description that they give, like the universe, like the, what do you call it, like the Milky Way and all that stuff? Everything is spinning. So I guess they got something. Now, hallelujah, we're finally at the Christian. But the Christian, on the other hand, now even though the Jews, Hebrews, and the Islam, they might not agree or like the esoteric part of their religion, but they have not forgot it, and they do not like totally. Well, I'm not going to speak for all of them, but for the most part, it's like kind of an okay, we accept you type of thing. This is part of getting deep into God. So, what I'm saying is what I have been trained in, and why I might mention the Bible now and then, is because what I have learned goes back to the esoteric system of the Christians. Oh Lord, help me. I just put it on video. Help me. Now, what is the esoteric side of the Christians? You hear, oh, the Essenes and this one and that one. But if you call yourself a Christ man, Christ-ishin, a Christian, and you read it. Don't just listen to the dude running up and down the stage. Read your book. Damn, is that much to ask if it's talking about your everlasting soul? Huh? Read the book. So the person that y'all believe in, that you call Jesus, and some of you call Yahshua, and some of you, well, none of you call him Emmanuel, and I thought in the book it said, name my son Emmanuel. That's how you gotta talk when you talk like God. So I'm like, okay, God said, name my son Emmanuel, but somehow we got Jesus and Yahshua. Anyway, I ain't even gonna try to figure that out. So, y'all believe in this being that y'all call Jesus or Yahshua or Isa, whatever, man. Now you go to the story of the birth, the birth of Christ, whatever name you want to call it. This is the birth of Christ for the Jews. Read the dag-nabbit book. Anyways, who are the people that followed a star to the place where Christ, well, it don't say that's where he was born, but he was a baby. Or at least that's what the books say. I don't even think it say that. I think it say the Christ child. He might have been 7. Anyway, the group or the people are called Magi. If you haven't heard about it, wait till December. Everywhere you drive, you're going to see statues of Christ, Mary, Joseph, and the 3 Magi, 3 kings, or 3, what do you call it? God dang nabbit. 3 Magi, 3 kings, or 3, oh, that's it. Magi, kings. It's another one. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But now, after we go through that whole episode, it's in Matthew if you want to look it up. After we go through all that and the Magi leave, so that was the first clue. I was like, wait a minute, these dudes just traveled from who knows, I know, but who knows the heaven where, to find this Christ child, and then they're like, well, Herod looking for y'all, and we out. We gonna take that way. Wait a minute. This is God. God. And y'all just traveled thousands, hundreds of miles just to see this baby? And now you're leaving? Now you tell me, I don't know, you might be a sissy or whatever. If you found God as a baby on earth, would you leave him? Anyways, I'm just saying, he must not have been the God of the universe. Oh boy, I'm gonna be in trouble for this one. So, the Magi leave. I'm gonna see, there's a whole nother story to this, because what they're explaining is actually a Taoist principle, because there's no other story in the Bible that matches the Taoist stories of immortality. But I'm not going to go there right now. I'm just going to talk about the Magi. Now, later on in the book, the Magi become some, I don't know, it's a bad thing. I won't say evil, but Magi becomes the word magic, and suddenly to Christians, magic, Magi, no. Wait, what? Huh? Wasn't those the guys that found your Savior? But now they're devils or something? Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. If you are or call yourself a Christian, what do you know about and it don't say nothing about three Magi in the story. But anyway, they do that because they say three gifts. If you are a Christian, what do you know about the people that found Jesus? About the people, well, they say God or the angel Gabriel told them to go to Egypt. That's a whole nother story. Heck with it, let's go back to the beginning. First, you have this man called Abraham, which his first name was Abram. He lived out there in like Babylon and Sumer and all that, right? Now his father, Terah, was a Magi. And Abram lived with his father, and it was said they made statues and stuff. He lived with his father until he was 72 years old. 7 and 2 is 9. Whole nother story. So when his father died, Abram thought these things were sinful, making statues and stuff. So God told him to go to where? Egypt! Wait. You are God. So why do I have to go, excuse me, why do I have to go from here to way to heaven over there to, well, I don't know, was it called Egypt in Abraham's time? Because Egypt is Greeks. So maybe in Abraham's time it was still called Kemet. So anyways, God told Abram to go to Egypt so his ass wouldn't starve with his family. So when he crossed the Tigris, well, that's a leopard. When he crossed the Tigris-Euphrates River, his name changed into Abraham, all that, right? Wrestled with angels and all that just to get to Egypt. Now, when they got there, his wife was she was a Nubian, I think. She was so beautiful that the Pharaoh heard about her and was like, that's a Greek word, Pharaoh. It was like, I want that woman. So he's like, go, please. I'm not going to get into all that. The point is, the father of Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, his father was Magi. Let's move up to Moses, because, I'll get into this 30-minute talk. So Moses, was born to a Jewish mother, and I don't know what happened, but she put his ass in a basket. We don't say ass in the chat. She put his butt in a basket. Talking. And he just happened to float into, well, I think they was called Pharaoh by now. He just happened to float into the princess's bathing area or some stuff like that. So she takes Moses as her own child. So where's the rest of her family? It's like, oh damn, you got a child and he's big and we never even seen your stomach get big. I just think logically we was taught that way. Anyways, so Moses grows up in the ways of the priests of where? Egypt or Kemet, another one. So he steals the Ark of the Covenant, whole nother story, and runs away, and they chasing him because that's the power system. I'm going somewhere else. Anyways, as the story goes, Abraham went to Egypt. Moses went to Egypt. And then when after the three Magi left, Gabriel, or was it Gabriel? Or God told Joseph, what? Take my son to Egypt. I'm pointing that way because that's like east, but that's where the sun rises. Anyway, Abraham, Moses, Jesus. They say Billy Carson said he even seen the place where Jesus lived in Egypt, and that's where the Christian faith started. So wait a minute, if the Christian religion started Egypt, Ethiopia, and all that, isn't there some type of connection here? If God and angels and everybody is telling you, go to that place over there where they live in good, you live in poor, boy. In that city, they live in good. They got big ass pyramids and food, and everybody is chilling. Well, I don't know if they was chilling, but they was doing their thing. The highest civilization on earth, bar none, zip zero nada. But it's evil. Well, wait a minute. I can't think of the passage or the book, but somewhere, type it in Google. God dang nabbit. Somewhere it says, "I am your God." Out of the land of Egypt, and you shall have no other God before me, Negro. Anyway, I'm kind of trying to wait to December to really talk about the true story of the Magi, because it connects ancient Egypt, ancient China, Persia. It's a connected thing. It ain't three dudes riding on a horse. Why would Herod, the king, hear about three dudes coming into Jerusalem? It's like, oh, three dudes just came into town. Go bring them to me. No. It wasn't three dudes. They had dudes. Even the king didn't want to mess with them. Whole nother story. I'm out. Peace. Look it up. The Magi. There is a book out by Landau, I believe his last name is, called The Revelation of the Magi. So if you want to get a leg up on what I'm about to talk about, this is supposed to be the story by written by the actual people who supposed to had actually went to find or followed a star. Stars don't move. Anyway, I'm out. Peace.